Hey guys, it's Peyton, and today I'm going to be talking about some of my most recent 5-star reads that I have read, and basically this is actually an August wrap-up, and I thought I'd give it a fun title just because they were all 5-star reads, and we're halfway through September, so nobody really cares what I read in August anymore. I still wanted to talk about it, and we still have the issue of the lights over there that just keep falling down. I need more tape, but I don't know where the tape is, so it's a problem. And you probably have already noticed that I haven't uploaded in like a month. It's been a bit. I have been in college. I literally took a plane from North Carolina to Oklahoma to see my boyfriend for the first time in 2 months, which, by the way, that went really well. And we were only able to communicate through letters during that time period, but now we can text and FaceTime every single day. And he is in Arizona now. He's coming back around Christmas time for 2 weeks, and I'm just looking forward to that so hard. And I know the long distance thing probably sounds terrible to a lot of people, but after going through what we went through of like no contact basically, this FaceTime and texting thing feels like a blessing. So I'm okay right now. Like, I feel a lot better just being able to actually talk to him, because we really weren't able to communicate that well during the last 2 months. So I'm just so happy that we are okay right now with talking, and we're still together. And actually Monday is our anniversary for 2 years, so I'm super excited about that. And college has just taken me by storm. It's just been a lot, and I'm hoping that I will fully get used to it and at least be able to upload once a week and maybe expand from there. I really enjoy doing booktube. It's a hobby of mine for like 5 years now, and I actually hit 18,000 subscribers during this month of me being gone, so thank you so much. I highly appreciate all of you for subscribing, even though my upload schedule can be some poo sometimes, but thank you so much for being a part of the Peyton Reads family. I literally haven't read a book in a month, and I only have 4 books to talk about today that I read in August, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. The first book that I read is actually a graphic novel, and that is Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. If you follow me on Twitter, which is at Peyton_reads, you will know I had a very good time reading this, and I forced my sister to read it too, and we made a whole video with her, and Alice Oseman freaking replied, and we got like 800 likes on a tweet, which is pretty good for me. And this graphic novel is about 2 boys in high school who are falling for each other, but I'll go deeper into that plot. Basically, our main character is named Charlie, and he is openly gay in his all-boys school, and he's pretty much the only one that's openly gay. And he was actually outed, so he didn't even like do it himself, which is really unfortunate. And he was bullied really heavily, but he is kind of past that now. Not completely past it, but he's not getting bullied as much anymore, and basically he ends up meeting this boy named Nick, who is a rugby player. Is it a rugby or lacrosse? Why am I so stupid? Yeah, straight up can't remember if it's rugby or lacrosse. Like, is lacrosse like an English thing? Because this is like set in England, I believe, like somewhere. They're British people. Okay, I'm terrible at explanations, but basically he plays this sport, and he invites Charlie to come on the team because he saw him running one day, and he's like, hey, you can run, like, I need you. But I think he's like, ooh, you're cute, like, we need you on the team so we can keep talking. Basically, throughout this volume, they're kind of exploring their new friendship, and it might be creating some feelings. And Nick hasn't really explored his sexuality before, so he doesn't really know what he's into. That's basically the story of Heartstopper. That's the basis, and I'm gushing. I love this so much, and I just think it was really well done. It is a graphic novel, like I said, so it's just a bunch of drawings, and I am used to reading comic books because I've read like pretty much all of the Walking Dead comic books, which just ended recently, and I still refuse to read the last one, but whatever. So I'm used to that format. I know my friend Brittany really enjoy this, but she's not really used to graphic novels. But I was thrown right into it and I read it in one sitting and it was just so freaking good. So this leads me into my next read that I read, my other 5-star read, and that is volume 2 of Heartstopper. I bought both of these off of the book depository in one go because I just had a feeling I'd finish this one and know I needed this one, and that was definitely what it was. And this one I think I loved even more just because Nick was really finding himself in this one, and I just really enjoyed how that was done. He was exploring maybe being bisexual. He doesn't entirely know which term to put it or if he wants to put a term on it, and I just really loved how this was done. I love Nick like standing up for Charlie when people are rude, and like I just cannot get enough of these two boys. They're so adorable, and Alice Oseman is so great, and I just can't wait to read all of her freaking books because she has 3 novels out and I may have read another one of them this month. Let's be real, I have a new love for this author. She is so awesome. She has a YouTube channel as well, and I've loved watching those videos from her of her behind the scenes talking about her books and stuff. And if you haven't heard, Heartstopper is actually something that started online. So there's a whole webcomic and you can literally look it up and read all of it. And we only have 2 volumes right now, but there is stuff after volume 2. I read everything. I'm completely up to date with Heartstopper right now because I literally am obsessed with these characters. I just can't. I need to continue on with this video. I'm sorry. So it only makes sense that I went and read another Alice Oseman book, and it was a 5-star read as well, and that was Radio Silence by Alice Oseman, obviously. I actually borrowed this on ebook from my library just because I couldn't get the book fast enough. I wanted specific editions, which are these UK editions. It's new covers, and I have one other one on my shelf and then another one like in a book bag because I was trying to currently read it, but I've been failing at reading lately. They're all matching and so cute, and her later books are all going to match these covers, so I just had to get these from the book depository. That's why we got no tabs happening here, because I read it on ebook, but I loved it so much. And this story is actually about a girl named Frances who is actually biracial and bisexual, so we love that. Like, we love it. And she is top of her class. She's wanting to get into Harvard. Is it Harvard? Not Harvard. I think it's Yale. I'm stupid. It's been a month, so I don't know which top school, or no, it was Cambridge. She wanted to get into Cambridge. Okay, whatever. She wanted to get into this really prestigious school for college, and that's literally what she's centered her life around, is school and getting good grades. And she's really doesn't have any real friends at this point in her life, and I've been there. And it's just super sad to see that she has a persona of school Frances and her at-home Frances, like with her mom. She has a really good relationship with her mom, and I enjoyed seeing that. She has a whole different side of herself that loves this podcast called Universe City, which is run by an anonymous person. It's like a YouTube channel podcast story thing. So each episode has characters and there's a whole story, and it's very different from anything I've ever read about. I didn't really know this type of podcast thing existed, so it's kind of interesting to get this perspective. And she has no idea who writes this, but she does fan art for it, and one day the creator emails her and said, "Hey, you know what? I like your fan art. Do you want to do some art for me?" And then she ends up meeting a boy named Alid. He's actually her neighbor, and there's absolutely no romance in between the two of them, which is basically amazing in itself, because almost every freaking young adult book is all about like, hey, boy meet girl, hey, let's have a romance. But this one, they're platonic, and it's so cute. Like, I love their friendship so much. And Alid actually makes an appearance in Heartstopper, and Nick and Charlie have like a paragraph where they're in this book. Like, her books are interconnected, so I'm super freaking happy about it. Literally, this whole video so far is me gushing about her, and I'm sorry if it makes no sense, but she is just so awesome, and I'm literally so inspired by her writing and her style in general. I would love to write something like all interconnected like this and just hitting you hard with emotions, you know what I'm saying? Look at my Minion shirt though. Like, I'm such a fashionista, you're all jealous. I don't know how else to explain this book other than that it deals with anxiety, depression. There is trigger warning of dog abuse, like just letting you know, like that one hurt. Yeah, like I horribly explained this, but just letting you know, it's a good one and definitely way different than so many freaking young adult contemporaries out there. The next book that I read is another contemporary book, and of course it's a 5-star read, and I actually talked about it in an unboxing video, so you kind of already know my thoughts on it. I love it, so I'm mentioning it again, and that is Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. 5 out of 5 stars, as I said, and this book is basically about a girl named, I'm forgetting everybody's name. Her name is Bailey, and she lives on the East Coast, but she has an online friend that she thinks is named Alex that lives on the West Coast on a coastal area, like the beach sort of thing, and her dad actually lives in the same town as this guy that she knows from online, but her parents are divorced, so she's currently living on the East Coast, and this online guy, Alex, he really wants to meet up with Bailey. He wants to go to a film festival together because they're film geeks. That's what they bond over, and it's super cute. I love that aspect of the relationship, of how they love movies so much and they just talk about it. It's so, so cute. And basically, she's really nervous about meeting him and doesn't tell him that she is moving to live with her dad and is going to be in the same town as Alex now. And she ends up getting a job in this town at this museum. Basically, she ends up having a coworker that she really freaking hates, and his name is Porter, and he's Alex, but she doesn't know that. And it's hilarious because they freaking text each other back and forth about how much they hate their coworker. Like, it's hilarious. It's a form of enemies to lovers because they really didn't like each other at first, and then slowly they start to bond and have a relationship. And you also see that their internet sides, they're slowly like drifting apart from each other because they're starting to have feelings for someone in their real lives, and they're so nice that they're like not gonna lead on the internet person anymore, but they don't realize that they're the same person. And I just really enjoyed this one because the romance was actually cute. I got behind these characters. I felt the feelings, I felt the emotion, and that's how I felt about Nick and Charlie too. So many contemporaries that I read recently, like I just don't actually feel the connection between the characters, but I really felt it with all of this, with Nick and Charlie, with Bailey and Porter. Like, I had such a good time reading like really good romances. And Porter was really interesting though because he had been in a shark attack, so his arm is really jacked up. He actually was trying to save his father from a shark because they're surfers. They're like really famous surfers in their town, and basically his dad's arm got eaten off and Porter went to save him. He got bitten, but his arm didn't fall off, at least. And that whole plot line in itself was really cool to me. I'm intrigued by that type of stuff, so it's just cool that he had that background, and I just love the surfer vibes. It gave me a really good summertime feel. That's what I gotta say about this. Highly recommend it, and I'm really excited to explore more of Jen Bennett's work. So I blabbed forever about those books, but I hope you can tell that I really loved all of those. So even though I didn't read that much in August, and I literally haven't read anything in September so far, so we'll see if we have a September wrap up. At least I really enjoyed everything I read. It made me super happy. It's just once that college started, like nothing has been happening. All I've been reading is textbooks, and I'm hopefully gonna change that. Thinking about reading Catching Fire to get myself back into it because I love Catching Fire. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm glad to be back. Like this video, comment down below. Have a good day. Please subscribe. Make sure to follow all my social medias, which are linked down below, and go click the bell button, which is right by the subscribe button, which you should have already clicked, and goodbye.